Do you love shooting landscapes with your iPhone, but want your photos to stand out from ordinary snapshots? One way to elevate your images is by shooting long exposures in RAW format. This method not only produces better looking images, but also sets your work apart because most people don't invest the time or effort to master the extra steps required. Let's walk through the process step by step. The first step is to mount your iPhone on a sturdy tripod. In long exposure RAW photography, a tripod is your most critical accessory, especially in windy environments like a beach, to prevent camera shake and ensure sharp images. Step 2 is to choose the right app. The default iPhone camera app doesn't support manual exposure controls for long exposures, so you'll need to download a third-party app. Options include Adobe Lightroom Camera or the newly released Adobe Project Indigo. For this video though, I'll be using our partner app, Aura HDR Camera, which simplifies the long exposure process as you're going to see in a moment. As a bonus, Aura HDR also supports RAW bracket shooting, which allows for HDR merging or blending high contrast scenes if you desire to do so later. Step 3 is to set shooting parameters. You need to set the shutter to the longest on the iPhone, which is 1 second. In Aura HDR, you do that by choosing HDR RAW bracket from the camera menu and setting the shooting mode to high quality. This will automatically shoot at the longest shutter and lowest ISO. If the scene is too bright though, a 1 second shutter speed may cause overexposure no matter what app you use. In such cases, you need to attach a neutral density filter like the one being shown here to reduce the light entering the lens. For this demo, I didn't have an ND filter, so I waited until the light was low enough to achieve a proper exposure. The fourth step is to take the shot. In the case of Aura HDR, the brackets will be saved to the iPhone photo library, which we can export to Affinity Photo for further processing. You can see how the long exposure has produced a stunning image in 3 ways. First is the silky smooth water. The water appears smooth and dreamy, complementing the warm, soft light of the sunset. The second is the enhanced colors. The long exposure intensified the orange and yellow hues, creating a more dramatic and vibrant look. And the third way is reduced noise. By allowing more light in, long exposures enable a low ISO, resulting in a cleaner image with minimal noise, even without any denoising applied. Next, let's talk about editing our RAW long exposure shot. The main benefit of shooting our long exposure in RAW is it allows for high quality edits, which can help bring back the scene we saw with our own eyes. Here's how to edit in Affinity Photo. First, open the RAW file in Affinity Photo. It will automatically load in Develop Persona, the RAW editing workspace of Affinity. Next, switch to Photo Persona for more precise selection tools. I'll click Develop. I'll duplicate the layer. I'll use the selection brush with snap to edges selected to make an accurate selection of the subject. Third, I'll create a layer mask by clicking the Layer Mask button. Next, with the top layer selected, I'll navigate to Develop Persona to increase the exposure. As you can see, because of the layer mask, the adjustment is applied to just the subject. Next, I'll perform the same steps to lower the exposure of the background to make the subject stand out even more. And for that, I'll need to process the bottom layer. Finally, I'll perform some sharpening on the unprocessed RAW file and add some color adjustments. Here's the before and the after. Notice how the subject now pops with accurate exposure and vibrant colors thanks to the flexibility of the RAW file. So that is how you shoot and edit long exposure RAW files. Use it the next time you visit a beach or a scene with flowing water or moving lights for which this process shines. Finally, don't forget to check out Aura HDR Camera, the best app for computational photography. With every purchase, you help support this channel. I'll see you in the next video.